meeting to order. Roll call, please, Kay.
Hutnick,
Here.
Poznansky, St. Laurent,
Here.
Murdoch,
Here.
Stevens,
Here.
Van Wormer, Lee,
Here.
Oswald.
Here. Let's go ahead and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. If we can have approval of the agenda.
I'd actually like to table the financial report since we didn't get it until we sat down here today. I haven't had any time to look at it. I don't know if there's any objection to that.
I have no objection. Anyone?
No.
Okay.
But otherwise, I would make a motion to approve the agenda, tabling the financial report.
I have one addition too. We had created a committee last meeting for the bylaws and policies. That should be listed for committee update under unfinished business. So adding F, committee update, bylaws and policy committee.
I'd still make the motion with that change.
I'll second.
Okay. All right.
Doing it all in favor?
Yep. All righty. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Any opposed? Okay. All right. Approval of the minutes?
I had two quick changes. Under my board comments, it said that I think Carl and Anthony, it's actually Carl and Andrew. So
Okay.
I just wanted to make that one correction. And then under the event sponsorship procedure, it says Lee proposed we update our event sponsorship procedure form, and then later on it says, so there's a need for a formal policy. I just wanted to make it clear that I said if the board wanted to change the policy, but there is one in place right now. So I just wanted to make note of that, because it kind of sounded like I was saying there wasn't one. But
Well,
there
the
is.
word update implies that there is one.
Okay. It just says, so the need for a formal policy, which wasn't my intention.
Okay.
I have one question. Under section 7, under funding requests, kind of the last sentence, the last paragraph says, St. Laurent proceeded to elaborate on her concern that the bylaws are not being followed, decisions are being made away from the table, the integrity of the process is in question. It kind of goes on, and then at the end, the last sentence says, she also agreed that our bylaws need to be updated along with other policies in order to clarify things fully. I'm just wondering who the she was. Because my statement was that if we are going to do things differently than the bylaws, we need to change them. Otherwise, we need to follow the bylaws that are there. So I'm just not sure who she is referring to. Was it referring to Kathy or to myself?
Oswald.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. All right. Make a motion?
I'll make a motion with the changes noted.
Okay. A second?
I'll second.
I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll second it.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We're going to move on to our public forum. I'd like to welcome everyone here this evening. Thank you for coming. We always appreciate your attendance. At this time, if you'd like to step up to any non-agenda items.
There wasn't a copy, Sharon Smith, 377 North Main. There wasn't a copy of the
agenda posted anywhere that I could find. So I just wanted to speak to last month's meeting, where there were a couple of votes that maybe people should have recused themselves from. It says right here in section 5 of your bylaws that a member, conflict of interest, section 5, a member of the board who has a direct or indirect personal interest in any matter before the board, including a financial interest or interest by association because of employment or kinship, shall disclose the interest to the board before the board takes any action on the matter, which disclosure shall become part of the official record. And such interested member shall refrain from the DDA's proceeding related to that matter. I know Kathy voted for the $2,000 for the witches and warlocks, which you refused, or ended up not taking, which is very admirable. You shouldn't have voted on that, but you at least made your relationship known. Andrea St. Laurent voted yes for the Christmas walk. You did not disclose your relationship to that event that is run by you and your sister and your mom. So in all reality, if you're pounding her for not following orders, you need to look at yourself as well. You should not have voted on that, and you should have made that kinship known.
So it's a historical society event, it's not a St. Laurent event. We
But
are
you're-
volunteers of the Historical Society, there is no financial gain or
See, now
transaction.
you're kind of putting some spin on it. I disagree. The St. Laurent name is all over that. I'm very much for it. My house is on the tour. I volunteer for it every year. But you're trying to twist the rules a little bit. You're associated with it.
I think you're wrong on
And you
that.
should have.
Yeah, it's a Historical Society event.
It's reality.
Yeah, it is reality.
It's reality.
It is
Thank you.
reality.
Okay.
I got 3 quick things. One, I want to thank you guys for.
Well, can you state your name, please?
Oh,
and
sorry,
where-
Ruth Heidebrecht, 354 Salem Drive South, Romeo, Michigan. I'm a DDA member, business owner, and a resident. So 3 things. I just want to thank you guys for stepping up and helping the village park, clean it up, plant those plants. It looks nice now, but I don't know how long it's going to be because they're refusing to water it. So I just want to say thank you for the work that you guys did and the interest you had in your park. Secondly, I worked at registration last weekend. The Witches and Warlock Festival was outstanding, and you guys did a great job, and I know that there's some hoo-ha about where the money comes from and everything else, but I worked the registration, and there were so many people that came up and said that they were new here in the area, and they didn't know that these things even existed, and that they were so much fun. You went into every restaurant and every bar, and there were witches and warlocks from everywhere, in every business, and especially the merchants. The merchants were packed, at least the 2, that I went in. So I thank you for that. I do have a question, if you are answering questions about that, because I have also been involved in the Christmas walk. Where do the funds for the brochure that everybody advertises, because I've advertised in there before, where do
they go to?
Specifically go to?
To the Romeo Historical Society.
So all proceeds go to
Every
the-
penny goes to the Historical Society.
And
It's
then
a-
the money that the DDA also
Yeah,
gives.
so the Historical Society requests money to help cover the cost of printing, that sort of thing. So it goes for advertisement, posters, printing of the tickets, 100% of everything. The Historical Society is a 501c3 nonprofit, right?
Yeah.
So there is no legal ability for them to even turn a profit, right, to do anything. As far as my involvement of it, I'm a member of the Historical Society and I volunteer to be on that committee, just like I volunteered for their barn tour and different things. So there is zero profit to anybody with the Romeo Historical Home Tour.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Such a long walk.
I'm Betty Cassidy, 356 Benjamin Street. I would just like to say that this is our time to talk, not, we get in trouble as the members of the audience if we talk out of turn. So it would be nice if we could continue to have our time to talk. I'm not talking about questions and answers. Somebody asks the question, you give an answer. But it is rude to interrupt people. You have your own time to talk, and if it's not on the agenda, then you put it at the end of the agenda when you guys, everybody gets to talk. Have a good night.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Amy McDonald. I do not live in Romeo, but I do have a business in downtown. And so I did not see the agenda for today, so I apologize if I'm speaking out of turn, but I did watch the previous meeting. And I have some concerns, some pretty large concerns, actually. So first, I just want to understand who I'm speaking with. Does everybody here, everyone here are business owners in the village, right? Is that correct?
No.
That is not correct. No, okay. So, but everybody here lives in the village, is that correct?
Correct.
Everybody does, okay. So, and I don't know how things run, but it's confusing to me how people without an active stake in what happens downtown, these businesses, how they can be up here making decisions for the businesses downtown. So, based on the meeting that I saw last week, I'd like to take a moment to address what I feel is a real concern, not only for downtown, but also for this board. Kathy Oswald has done a tremendous job, not only promoting the town of Romeo and the businesses downtown. She has a large business downtown, but every single person that comes to this town goes to the other businesses, or they go to the restaurants, or they spend money in this town. We counted, I think it was 1,080 people, witches, and those were only the ones that actually met the criteria of having a hat, having a broom, having a black cape. We had a lot more people than that downtown this past week. And I applaud you, Kathy. I know that that was no small feat. And I thank you, because my business certainly benefited from it, and I know that the other businesses in downtown did as well. I stopped by the coffee shop. The line was nonstop all day, so I thank you. Her events have drawn thousands of people to this town. I also worked registration during just the Witches event. We had people from St. Clair Shores, we had people from Warren, we had people from Sterling Heights, we had people from all over the place that would not have been here in our town had we not had something like this going on.
Amy, you have 30 seconds.
Okay, so I wasn't aware that it was timed. I will hurry. But that's exactly what this board is meant to support, are people who invest their time, energy, and resources into strengthening the downtown and the businesses. That's why it's troubling to me to see her efforts being pushed away from people that don't even have businesses or a vested interest in this downtown area. I find it wrong, and with all due respect, it's hard for me to understand how this can be happening.
Thank you, Amy.
Yeah.
Time.
No worries.
All right, just real quick, I just wanted to let everyone know downtown, the free Thanksgiving meal, again, is going to be hosted at the Masonic Lodge on Thanksgiving from 12 to noon. Meals will be served there, and then you can also register or call James at Wendy's, which I had his number up and I just lost it, for deliveries. Let me pull that up real quick.
Justin, you said 12 to noon. What did
I'm
you-
sorry.
Noon to
3.
3.
Thank you.
Yep.
Call James at 586-515-9613 if you'd like a delivery. And we can get that set up. But like I said, noon to 3, free meal for the community on Thanksgiving. Thank
Can
you.
I ask a quick question? For delivery, is that just within town? How does that work?
Last year, we ended up reaching out to, I think we were in Shelby, Armada,
Okay.
Elmont, so, I mean, as long as it's within a, I
Some
don't
kind
think
of a
we're, I don't think
radius
we're
of
going to
some sort?
Detroit or
Okay.
South Warren or anything like that, but, yeah, we ended up doing about 600 meals in total last year.
Okay, that's
Wow, that's
awesome. I
great.
just wasn't sure how far outreaching you went.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
If we can get it, we'll do it.
All right, thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, all right, with that, oh, sorry. Yep, I'm sorry, I didn't see you.
Okay, so my name is Mac Kelly, and I gladly donated my disc jockey services to the Witches and Warlocks, and had a great time doing that, getting everybody to dance and sing along, and it was just it was a very happy event, and I wanted to just say that there were so many people that were coming in, and they helped build our community, and the way they did that was visiting the restaurants or visiting, retail places. The name leaves my mind, but Nouveau, it's at the end of the, yeah, okay, all right, we all know that, and everybody benefited, and that's what it's about, helping our businesses grow, our mom and pop shops. And once they grow, they can hire more people, and that brings jobs to the community. Who knows? Somebody's going to rent an apartment for the short walk or drive, the commute that they would have, which brings our community to a better place, because supporting our mom and pop shops is the backbone of any community. And so I just wanted to thank everybody involved as well. You all did a great job, and thanks for your time.
Thank you. You did an
You did an
awesome job.
Yeah.
You made it a party. Amen. Anyone else? No one? All right, so we've tabled the financial report. All right, we'll move on to funding request. Funding request for Old World Nouveau Ladies Night Out.
So I received a request for the Ladies Night Out poker run. They're requesting $500 for this event. It's going to be held on November 14th. That's a Friday. And this is just taking the place of our normal Ladies Night Out event.
Okay, any discussion?
So I have a couple questions on the write-up. It looks like it's for a poker, like, fun run event. And it says participating businesses. Do we know who's participating in this event?
They did not provide me a list, no.
Okay, and then my other question is twofold. So with our donation request paperwork, the DDA is to be promoted on all marketing material, things like that, advertising. So being that this event is taking place about a week and a half from now, what sort of advertising and marketing will be completed that the DDA will be promoted on for their funding?
They did not give me a list of what they intend to do.
Okay. So I think it's a great event. It's a little bit tough for me to vote affirmatively when we don't have, an answer of who's participating. There's only one business listed, and I think it kind of starts that, slippery slope of an individual event being funded by the DDA without knowing what the event is all about and what exactly the $500 is paying for. But those are my opinions.
Anyone else? Comment?
I don't know, I wasn't here last year for Ladies' Night, so I don't know how many businesses typically participate. I know that Madison with the Chamber usually does this event. They have,
Usually
gotten Old
it-
World Nouveau to take it this year.
Yes.
So it is an annual event that this community has gotten used to. So I don't know how many normally participate. I assume a
Right.
lot because I've been to one and it's a lot of people, but.
Right, no, and that's, I guess, the question is, I mean, do we know who's participating? Is it just the poker run? It's honestly, the last couple days is the first I've heard about it, so I haven't seen a whole lot of advertising up to this point. And with only one, if we're saying it's a ladies' night out, but we're only seeing one business, it just concerns me. I brought it up at the last meeting of, we can get into a situation of we're funding one-off requests from an individual business. I think it could get into a sticky situation of this board making a decision of one business's event over another. But those are just my thoughts.
Well, I know we're participating.
Okay, so there's one more.
Yeah, and of course, we always participate.
The office, yeah.
The office. There's usually around, I would say, in the past, probably around 13 businesses that do participate. It could be more, it could be less, but I would say that's probably been the average. I can't speak to it exactly because I've never ran it. I've just always participated in it.
Yeah, I guess I'd like to reiterate, as much as I want to support with money, I don't know what this is going towards at the moment. We do always have a ladies' night out. We have not done a poker run, it's been a long time. And it did go well when we did it, and then we had raffle baskets and all the things. I just don't know what the money is for, because the way it's explained, I don't know what the money's needed for.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, right here, it's just showing that what the event is getting a playing card, decide where to place the card on the poker run game card, which, I mean, I get the concept of it, but what's the $500 paying for?
Yeah, will it be for baskets? I don't.
Yeah, so,
They could come back next month and, I suppose, ask.
well, it's after the event.
I know.
And then we wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're not here this evening to
Yeah.
answer these questions. Okay. Anything else? Okay. All right. Is there a motion to approve the funding for the Ladies' Night Out?
I make a motion to approve the funding for Ladies' Night Out for Old World Nouvelle.
Okay. Is there a second? Okay. No second. Right. All right, well, we can always have them come back next.
Well, really, could we, with the form, could there be more that we're requesting so we have answers when it gets here? Could we
Yep.
update the form in some sort of fashion, get more detail from them, that sort of thing?
Yeah, and I think on the sheet that's ahead of this online, when you print it, it does indicate like a 2-month notice, so that if there are questions, they can come back, but they'll have like another month. Because it's gonna be tough to approve after the fact, because part of our agreement for giving funds is the advertising and the co-sponsoring event, which obviously is not gonna happen after the fact, so.
Well, for our full sponsorship, which is 500, the marketing is on them. If they want to do a micro event and only request 250, the DDA will spend the other half on paid ads and marketing.
No, I mean, on the paperwork for when someone requests funding, is that the DDA is listed on
Oh,
all.
on everything, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but if we approve it after the fact, they're not gonna advertise us until they have the funding. So to go back and approve it in December,
Yeah.
but yeah, so it's kind of a lost cause at that point.
Yeah, how did we do that with, it's a good point to bring up with St. Baldrick's, because we approved theirs after the event, didn't we?
Yeah, I don't know, I voted no for that because of that reason.
Yeah, so, yeah. Okay.
Is there a way that, when someone puts on a request for funding or whatever, that we could actually ask them to be in the audience so that they can answer questions?
Yeah,
I
at
mean,
some point along the way, our event sponsorship guidelines got updated.
Okay.
Originally, it was a 2-step process.
Right.
And people had to come and present.
Right.
But somewhere along the line, that got updated and taken away, so
Because I
we
think
may
that
want to
would make more
consider.
sense, because
Yeah.
even if there was maybe an outline for this,
Mhm.
there still might be questions with the outline. So if they were here, we could ask them and then it would get approved, or not approved, but.
And the program does, in that like cover sheet, it does reference something about 2 meetings, so that if we had questions, we could put them out
Right.
there, they could return. So had we received this September, the questions could have been
Right.
asked, and then in October, we could have voted.
Okay.
We're just-
It just seems
it's a
like
very
it'd be easier if.
Yeah, oh yeah, I mean, if
we
they would
could
come, that
just
would be even-
ask the questions
even
and have
better.
it answered, and then we could make an informed decision as to whether we pass it
No,
or
no,
not.
I totally agree. I think it's nice to come if you're requesting funds and,
Okay.
but, okay, thank you.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, with that, we'll move on. Four Corners Diner, funding request for the United Methodist Church dinner.
So I received a request from Four Corners Diner to co-sponsor the United Methodist Church dinner. This dinner feeds around 150 people, mostly seniors from the community. It is scheduled to be held on November 25th, and this is also a volunteering opportunity as well. So sharing in the cost and sharing in the volunteer event.
Okay, any discussion on,
Where is the United Methodist Church located?
What's the name of that street, really?
280 North Main Street?
Yeah, 28,
Is it in
What-
the CBD?
So it's
No.
not, the one on Main Street?
yes,
Okay, so not
So
in
not
the-
in the
So-
city, okay.
I think it's just outside of it, yeah.
And the event will be held where?
At the church.
At the
Every
church.
Tuesday night, they hold a dinner for local seniors, and other businesses will sponsor them, or other organizations, and we have around 100 or so. Volunteer positions, dishwasher, serving,
Is this
and,
the At His Table?
yes.
Okay, I know exactly
Yeah.
the event you're talking about.
And I just thought, how cool would it be to have the DDA on that board outside, dinner provided by the DDA? And then to have us back there volunteering.
Yeah.
This is an every Tuesday event, Marty?
They do it every Tuesday.
So would Four Corners be providing the food? Is that what the $500 is for, or?
It's $350.
Yeah, she changed it.
It
So-
was changed.
So the request is for
Not
350.
Yeah,
It's
it's
for
350. 350.
So I think it's a good event. I volunteered at the event in the
Mhm.
past, and I think it's great. I mean, again, it's not in the district. And I think that one of the things that this board has to be mindful of is where we spend taxpayer dollars. And like I said, I volunteered before for At His Table. I think it's a great event, a great thing for the community. I don't know if it falls under the DDA umbrella of what we're tasked to do and what we collect taxes for.
And with all due respect, Andrea, the Historical Society is out of the DDA district as well.
It's not. They own property within the district.
Well, this is something that we can give back to our community.
I'm not questioning
Just-
that. Again, I think it's a wonderful thing, and I think all of us give back to our community in multiple ways. But as a board member, we gotta follow the legalities of where we can spend our money on. This thing about the Historical Society, if you recall, last year, this board denied the Historical Society the funding request because at that time, they did not, well, they did. We did not know that they owned property in the district. It came out later that they actually owned Starkweather, and therefore this board was able to go back and fund that money. So that is just bad information, that the Historical Society is not in the district. And this board did decline them based on that.
Well, with the item at hand, while I do unfortunately agree that I'm unsure that the DDA can spend funds in this way, it is a good event. And I'd put $50. If everyone sitting up here did $50, we'd reach $350, just saying.
I mean, I think it's a great idea for this board to volunteer. I think that's something that we can do with our time. But the money part of it, like I said, legally, we just can't do that.
I'd be happy to volunteer.
I would as well.
Okay. Anyone else?
I don't think I reviewed the question. question was?
Since we cannot legally provide funding outside the district,
That I understand.
would this board be willing to take the other half of it, which would be the volunteer side of it? And would this board volunteer to cover a Tuesday of hands-on help running the dinner?
The volunteer, am I allowed to speak?
Yeah, of course.
The volunteer option is up to the business owner.
No, if this board,
No,
Person.
if we
This
want,
board
If you want to
too.
do it, then.
yeah, so I mean,
if we want to participate in volunteering.
So I would say, I mean, I know I volunteered, Danielle just did, if there was a Tuesday that they would like volunteers, put my name down, and it would be a nice thing
What's
for
the
the board
date
to
on
do.
that you would need
I'd be
those
here.
volunteers?
November 25th.
November 25th.
It's a
I'd be
Tuesday.
happy to do the same.
I would be as well.
What, can you send out details, Marty?
Yeah,
Like
What
what time to
time?
be there and all the things?
yep, you'd have to, we start delivering at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Can the board, not the board, but can board members do a monetary,
Sure.
volunteer monetarily or
Yes.
whatever also?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying if by chance we can't actually physically,
Yeah, I mean, you could always make a donation to the church and just
well, I'm talking
earmark
about to
it.
this specific.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that would be up
For
to the
the-
church
for
how
the
they,
meeting.
Right.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, if you were to
Sure.
say, I'd like to go to that, I'm sure the church would be
Okay.
more than welcome.
Okay, I'm just
So-
curious of whether it's, us physically volunteering or
Yeah.
doing some kind of a monetary type assistance.
I was
so.
just trying to find a way to bring the DDA in
Yes.
together and in a positive way to put it out there for the community. Hey, this is what we're doing. But anyways, you'd have to be there around 3 o'clock if you wanted to get involved in the delivery. Deliveries go out around 4 o'clock. We're back at the church by 5. We start serving at 5:30. We don't do the deliveries. They have someone else that does that. And then, we're usually out of there by 6:30.
So will you coordinate with the church and let them know who's volunteering, like who to expect?
Yeah, I put all that together myself. This is an event that we were hosting, Four Corners, and I wanted to share that with the DDA board, is
No,
what
no,
I was
yeah,
saying.
so I'm saying, so like if
Just shoot
Tom,
me a
Danielle, and
message.
myself
Yeah.
said
Right.
yes, so you'd
Yeah.
make note of that we're gonna be there.
So far I have Danielle Lee, Karen Murdoch, Tom Stevens.
It's the
Andrew-
Tuesday before Thanksgiving, correct?
Yes.
Just make sure I get my dates
And
right.
then, of course, Andrea St. Laurent.
Yeah.
Myself, and,
Unfortunately, I have a children's sports banquet
oh,
that same
okay.
evening.
All righty,
What time does it start?
all right.
I'll just go after.
So,
Okay.
okay, we're good with that? Okay, all right. All right, let's move on to number C, MJC Marketplace, Witches and Warlocks.
So just letting the board know that Kathy Oswald, the owner of MJC Marketplace and chairperson for the DDA, has made the decision to not accept the funds that were previously approved by the DDA board to sponsor this event.
Okay.
There just needs to be a motion by someone who voted yes to approve those funds, to now rescind those funds back to the general fund.
I make a motion for MJC to rescind the funds and send it back from Witches and Warlocks back to the DDA.
And I will second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Okay, all right. On to, let's see, new business. All right, so we have here a ladies' night, the DDA participation. I know that we were looking at opening the office up for a stop. That would be something that I think Kay and Marty, I thought you had maybe said you would volunteer for that as well?
I'm
If we-
sorry for,
For the ladies' night out? If we
Yes.
opened up, okay. So I'm going to let Kay kind of detail that, of what we were going to actually, for the ladies' night out, for being a stop for the ladies' night out?
Yeah, just being a stop, inviting people up to the DDA office, just like we did for the Art and Wine Walk. We had, I would say, about 150 visitors during that event. We were able to walk them through our projects that we're working on, make relationships. We had our merch store open. All in all, it's a success.
I think the idea of the warming center, welcome center is an awesome way for the DDA to participate in things. So I would make a motion to approve the $100 for the wind down and warm up office space.
Okay,
150?
Yeah, 150.
Oh, I thought
This
it's,
says
150.
100.
this says 100.
Is it changed on?
Mine says 150.
Oh, yeah.
If it's
We did
150.
update it. It's
Okay,
150.
I'll make a motion for
I
150.
just didn't want to go over.
Yeah.
It's 150.
No, I think it's just a really great way for the DDA to really honor our commitments and our strategic plan. And
There was a lot of great
Promote-
comments.
Yeah, I think it's
A lot of
awesome.
good feedback
So-
when we did it for the Art and Wine Walk, which I thought was a great idea that
Yeah.
Kay had come up with, and then.
yeah, I
a
mean,
lot of
congratulations
people-
on the idea, 'cause
Yeah.
it's a great
She
thought.
did a really good job on that, and I think that just lends to this as well.
As one of the people that volunteered during that at the Art and Wine Walk, it was, I think, a huge success. People, a good majority of the people had no idea that's where we were and had never been up there before. So it was a nice way for them to see the space, know how to find us, understand what we're doing and what we're there for, meet Kay and meet some of the board members. It was great.
Could we put out the solo stoves out front?
That's actually not a bad idea.
Sure, we need a permit.
Yeah.
We'll work on it.
Yeah.
I will need volunteers, though. If, they come in batches, so 30 people show up at one time. I can't do all the things, so
Okay.
just mark it on your calendars if you can help out.
All right.
So we
Okay.
have a motion.
Oh, so we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Danielle Lee. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries. All right. The holiday magazine advertising. That would be the holiday traditions. Showcase your business or event with a display ad. This would be the record. And we are looking at, as you can see here, the amounts, full page, half page, quarter page.
I don't know if we've ever done this before, I don't know, but it came across my desk and maybe a good way to, get our story out there, just additional marketing.
Are they extending the ad copy date?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
What are we putting, what would our ad be? What would we be putting out there?
I mean, suggestions?
I would suggest a quarter page if we're going to do it.
And what's our,
What are we?
yeah,
What
what are
would
we,
we put, yeah, I mean, would it just be our logo at this point? I would,
It's up to you guys. What we've done in the past has been all of our social pages, follow us, our story, the Return to Romeo story, and our DDA logo.
I would suggest,
What about like the tree lighting and any of the other events that are happening, the home tour, get your tickets at, the local participating businesses that are downtown?
Mhm.
yeah, I would,
That's, with a half-page ad, we could probably fit all of that, as opposed
So
to
a half
the
page.
quarter
yeah,
page.
I think kind of promoting the, the message of Come Home to Romeo is important. I think sometimes just the DDA logo alone is kind of like, what is that? So I think that obviously we want our logo on everything, but if we're gonna push Come Home to Romeo for Christmas and here's everything that's happening, then that's probably not a bad idea.
yeah, so the events that we have that we would like to promote would be the parade, the home tour.
We do the Santa breakfast. and
Santa
one of the Masons
breakfast.
host.
This publishes the 19th, correct? So it's anything after the 19th is what we would want to promote.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I guess we'd have to look at the dates.
Yeah, I'm sure it's after that, don't you think?
Yeah. So at that point, we're looking at a half page. And I agree, I like the idea of posting all the events that we have, because a lot of people don't know, so I think that would make a much better ad if we do that. Okay. All right, any other discussion? All right, does someone want to make a motion for a half-page ad?
I'll make the motion for the half-page ad.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right. Moving on to the Goodfellows advertising. So the Goodfellows, they are having ads in the paper this year. The ads run $100 for a business card size ad. Marty, I know that,
That's me again.
yep. If you wanna,
So here's last year's Goodfellows newspaper, and when you open it up, you'll see other business ads in it. And if you're not familiar with the Goodfellows newspaper, the money that is raised provides to make sure no child goes without a Christmas. So our ad would be, or our DDA logo, or whatever would be in the center page. And then that $100 would help provide a Christmas for a local child. I'll have enough of those.
and the other thing with this is it comes out that same weekend as the home tour.
December.
Yeah, so they are going to start on Friday, and then the home tour is on Saturday, and that's their big push for the paper, is that weekend. So it kind of coincides with all the events that are going on.
Is it
I'm
a
good.
story like this, or is it a
Yeah.
business card?
It'd be more of a business
The
cards,
business card.
card size, yeah, like with the logo.
Right, and each year we pick something, you know, to focus on. This year it's the old schoolhouses, and the one that's being moved, and talks about the schools.
And what was the funding request again?
It's $100.
Yeah, that's nothing. Those guys are outstanding. Can I make a motion to,
Yeah.
say we support that
Yes.
fund to, do this?
Okay, so,
No, I've used them or not used them. I mean, they've helped me in many years. And they get the little comic thing going inside there and little funny pages, but they do a real good job.
And we've actually taken over, well, we've increased it, now we're expanded out to Washington Township. So we're actually printing off 3,500 copies.
so it's increased quite a bit this year.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, and second by St. Laurent. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? All right, let's move on to the social media contract.
Okay, so our social media contract was for 6 months. That will come due at the end of December. And so I wanted to go through the SEO report for this month so that we can kind of make a determination. Right now, we pay for the highest level of service from Ignite Media, which is $1,250 a month. My suggestion is that we maybe are able to back that down to the 400, the minimum. Just based on kind of what I'm seeing, most of the support from them is for our website, and there's still a lot of work to do on the website. However, as far as the social media postings, I mean, to be honest, I'm doing most of the work. So for them to be involved, it actually creates more work for me. And we're having such great success, right? So some of these numbers are just amazing, like 340% increase in age visits, 8.8% increase in followers, a 200% increase in post impressions. Just in the last 4 months, we've gained over 3,000 new followers. And what's working are the events and the videos. That's what's working. And so in my opinion, going forward with the strategy, it would be to focus our funds and our efforts in that direction. So yeah.
So with the social media, so you would say that you would take on more of that? I know that you're already
I
doing
already
most
do
of
it.
it, so,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay,
I just think that we could use the money in other ways.
sure, okay. Any discussion on that?
Well, and you said you're basically putting it together anyway, so we're kind of double paying if you're taking
Right.
time to do it and just handing it to them in a pretty bow, we might as well.
Yeah.
So are you making the videos that we're seeing?
So we have 2 contracts. One is with the social media, Ignite Media, and then we have a second contract with the videographer.
Got it.
So the videographer delivers the videos, and then I make the listings. I do the posting.
Okay, perfect. So I will make a motion to approve reducing the current contract from Blaze from $1,250 a month to the Spark option for $400 a month.
I would support.
Okay,
Thank you for bringing that to us, Kay.
yeah, very good. All right. All right, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Any opposed? All right, let's move on to unfinished business. Holiday lighting installation.
So that process is already underway as of today. The inserts have been delivered to Justco's so they can start doing the pots, and everything has been scheduled, including taking it down at the end of January. So we should be pretty good.
Yeah. Very good. Okay, and then on to the DPW storage cleanout.
So that was fun. We have a very clean and neat and organized DPW storage room now, and we actually have some room. So that's been done,
Good job.
yes.
Thank you.
Okay, on to One Source publication.
One source publication, design and content has been submitted, so that has been completed.
Okay. Wayfindings and attraction strategy.
So both of these are remaining on the unfinished business. Nothing really new to report other than working on the grants for both of those.
Have we identified any grants and have applied for any?
So we're gonna focus on wayfinding and attraction first, and I am going to submit an application to SIMCOG and MDOT for that project. It's just gonna take some time.
Will that, if you know this now, I don't know if you know it now, but what you're asking for, would that be a one grant that would cover everything, or are we looking at having to get multiple grants to make it happen?
These two, SIMCOG and MDOT, are my first choice, just because we only have to have the DDA's portion, and then they do the rest.
Okay.
That's our first stop. If it doesn't work, then we have to go back to the drawing board.
And then my other question, it's mentioned in here, and it was mentioned briefly last month's meeting, that the DDA has partnered with Romeo High School and a new marketing intern has started working. So that marketing intern, we had one before that we actually received a grant to get a grant writing intern. Is that Romeo High School student the marketing intern, or is this two different people?
She is the marketing intern, yes.
Okay, so I don't know who it is, and it's great to be able to partner with them. Is that the person that's going to be working on grants, or are you going to be working on the grants?
No, she's a marketing intern.
Okay.
So that
It
implies,
just confused me because the way it was written here, so I just want to make
Yeah.
sure I understand.
no, the marketing intern, she helps with our merch store, inventory. She's currently working on updating our shopping and restaurant guide, all things marketing.
Yeah,
Is this hours toward her?
It's a work-based learning
Okay.
program, yeah.
okay, so it's all volunteer,
Yeah.
there's no, okay, got it.
It's an internship through the school.
Thank you.
All right. All right, let's move on to the streetscape conceptual plans.
The streetscape is the same. We have received the final conceptual designs from Giffords Webster, and they will be scheduling a town hall meeting in January, and that will be the second grant that I'll be looking for funds for. That one's gonna take a big strategy, so we're gonna need multiple avenues.
Yeah, there's a lot to that, yeah, definitely.
Is there any dates in mind for that town hall yet, or we wait?
Not yet. They haven't reached out yet, but the beginning of the year is what we decided on.
Okay.
So hopefully soon we'll have a date.
Yeah. Okay, at this time, if
We
there.
have F, committee update. and
Oh,
bylaws.
that's right, yep, thanks. Let's go ahead with the committee update. So last meeting, I had asked for a committee for updating our bylaws and putting policies and procedures. I have myself, Danielle, Tom, right, you had volunteered?
Yeah.
And Marty Hudnick, so be nice to go ahead and make a time that we can meet to kind of get this started and get this going going in the direction. So is there any time that would work best for, is it like evenings, afternoons?
Evening works better for me.
Evening, okay, all right. Tom?
Evening.
Evening, good for you?
Unless I'm cooking for dinner for
Okay.
Mrs. Stevens, yeah.
All right, okay. I'm gonna do 6, 7 o'clock,
5 or 6.
5 or 6, Tom?
Yeah, that's fine.
5 or 6? Okay, Danielle, how are you? That's fine. 5 or 6, okay. Do 5, and then what day of the week?
Can you send out like 2 or 3 dates?
I can do that,
And then-
I will do that, yeah.
Because I can't make a commitment on a date right.
Okay, all right. All right, I will send that out to the committee, okay?
Thank you.
All
And
right,
where would we be meeting?
well, we can meet at the DDA.
We could, with that too, but I've also got that little conference room in the building too we could use.
Okay,
If we
all
wanted to
right,
do
well, we
that.
can put
Or
that
freeze
on.
to death in the barn, we could do that too.
It's a little cold, but,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, we got a conference room that we could use.
Okay. All right. Okay, I will go ahead and then put an email out and get this going. All right. This time we'll move on to public forum. If there's anything that you would like to come up and talk about, the things that we've talked about on our agenda.
Sharon Smith, 377 North Main. Just one more time, I'm confused sometimes by this whole thing, what gets approved for funding and what doesn't. Marty is she owns Four Corners, she's in the Central Business District. She is asking for funding to basically cover some, I'm sure not all, of the cost for doing a dinner at a local church. So for those who can't see your way through to approving something like that benefits our seniors, especially now that SNAP programs are being eliminated, shame on you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else? All right. We'll move on to the executive director report.
Okay, so I'll just go through some of the highlights from this past month. We did have the Witches and Warlock event along with the Monsters of Maine decorating. I'm working on scheduling some one-on-ones with our new business owners. So we've got Lettuce, Host, the Apothecary, Romeo Printing has new owners. So just setting up meetings to sit down and let them know all about what the DDA is here to help them with. Some of the other events, we did a MDA Instagram takeover day, which was fun. So we got to pretend to be them for the day and highlight Romeo. We participated in the Art and Wine Walk. I attended the Samaritan's House annual fashion show. Was able to do some judging of the kids' costumes on the annual trick-or-treating day. And then attended a nonprofit roundtable with Advancing Macomb. As I already mentioned, I'm working on some applications for SIMCOG and MDOT. I was able to complete an application with Kaboom for a possible playscape for the Village Park. So we'll just wait to see if that gets approved. The One Source brochure has been completed, and that will be out at the beginning of December. I continue to work on the micro projects that we have been talking about kind of here and there, and should have something soon for the board to consider. We are updating the shopping and dining guides, and I will be working on RFPs for all of our other services this month. That includes our floral, our holidays, decor, watering, and accounting. So we just want to roll into January with, contracts for next year and pricing locked in for the next 3 years. So that's what I've been working on.
Okay, good job, Kate. All right. Tom? Got anything?
Public or board member comments?
A little deeper into the wayfinding, I was kind of digging around, looking at the opportunity. We do have wayfinding signs still in the village. I think I mentioned that before. There's one right outside my building. that shows a sign we did way, way back in the day, and I know there's other signs. A panel sign seemed to work years ago, where you had, it was an event calendar that was on a big plaque that people could see coming up and down the street. And you can do that way. Another thing I did for almost 15 years, I was a sales rep for the MJR cinemas and all those places too. Those annoying ads you get to watch when you're waiting for the show to start. Now, it's a little different today than what they used to do, but that also was a good, I used it for the bed and breakfast, and that raised our capacity, I mean, incredibly. It was at least a 40% increase or more. So I want to get involved, we're just telling the board, I want to get involved in the wayfinding thing, because I do have a lot of background in the advertising programs that we did. But we did, like I say, we did it for the Brab House, and it was wonderful, and other places has manner. And I did have people, Heidenbrock, as I recall, at one time, did that advertising too. The only thing I don't know, I don't go to the theater much anymore, but yes, those are those annoying ads that they run before the show. But you could also do it for short term. It'd be a matter of how much money they're getting today. So I'm going to look into that if the board wants to get some information on that. I still have people, friends in the business that we could do. Do you think that'd be something that you guys might be interested in seeing, or at least
I
presenting?
mean, I think we're open to looking at any
Just about
option
anything.
that's out there, yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I was like, there's always, yeah.
Yeah, because I
opportunity
pulled
there.
up Frankenmuth today too, up on the, just on the computer. And, the multiple wayfinding signs with all the businesses on there seem to work really well for them. I mean, look, when you go to Frankenmuth,
Yeah.
you're always bumping into somebody.
Yeah.
But of course, it's been around for hundreds of years. But anyway, yeah, I'll do that then. I'll start digging into the cinema advertising and see if it's something worthy. And for the other business owners too.
Sure.
We had a lot of people that actually did it,
Yeah,
so,
I'd love to see you bring your talents
yeah.
to the table. Thank you. Karen?
I just have, I think, just a couple things. When you mentioned Monsters on Main, it kind of triggered I'm like, what happened with Monsters on Main?
I know, I need to post the results. but-
Okay. I'm like, because I actually looked either last
I know
night or
what
this
they are.
morning, and I was like, I never saw, anything after that. So it was just my curiosity.
MJC was by far and away the number one.
Oh, okay, cool.
Old World Nouveau was second place,
Yeah,
and
because I
then,
think last year was Old World Nouveau,
Mhm.
right? Okay, cool.
and then the Stanek Agency was third. Yeah.
The what agency?
The insurance
Oh, okay,
agency.
got it, yes. What was it? Yeah, I remember their ad said something like, we're dying to get for your business or something, I don't know, it was cute. Anyway, and then the other thing I thought I would just bring up, I don't have a solution for it, but working the registration desk for Witches and Warlocks, I can't even begin to say how many people, were thrilled to be there, but also were like, we didn't know about it. We didn't know about it. We didn't know about it until this morning, until we heard someone else talk about it. And I know we've been blasting it as much as we can. I mean, the local businesses were doing it, you were doing it, I realize that. But I think, I don't know what the solution would be. Maybe some of the old school hometown little flyers that people maybe still get. I don't know, but that could be maybe, I don't know about your media intern, if she can maybe look into. I think we need to kind of also look at old school advertising, not just social media. Like, again, not everybody is on Facebook or Instagram. And that had to be the number one comment that I was getting all day long, was, I didn't see this, that kind of thing, so. But that was it.
Okay.
Other than that, everything was great for the day.
All right, thanks, Karen. And yeah?
Want me to go? Okay, just a couple comments on the DDA and what we're here for. I've heard a lot of times recently that we should be doing events, and we shouldn't be doing events, or we should be supporting this thing or that thing. The DDA over the last 4 years has spent an enormous amount of time, money, and effort on creating a strategic plan. This was something that all board members were a part of. This is something, I mean, some board members are newer, but board members at the time were all a part of it. We sat down, we decided what we wanted to work on, what we wanted these funds to be spent on. That is in line with, you know, the Michigan Act for downtown development authorities. We used Christina as support in that process. Our TIF plan indicates that we need to spend money on roads, facade improvement, wayfinding, and zoning update and enforcement. So, this is not money that I just get to decide, or anybody here gets to decide, I think it's a good idea over here, I think it's a good idea over here. These are taxpayer money that we are responsible for, and this is what the TIF plan says we spend it on. That does not mean that something is not a good event or a good project to work on or something good for the community. That means that we don't have the ability, based on this and our master plan, which is infrastructure, to spend money on that. So when I hear shame on you for not supporting a community event, I find that very disrespectful to what this board is here for. And decisions on the DDA are not just for the businesses downtown. We have residents on this board because those decisions are about infrastructure, which is the parking lots that I have to park in as a resident, or the streets that I have to drive on as a resident, and a customer of those businesses. So that's why there are residents represented on this board. There are also residents that live within the DDA district, not just business owners and not just building owners. And we have to keep all of them in mind. So I would ask that when we're thinking about why we're voting and what the motive is for voting, we keep in mind what our master plan is, what we've spent hours, time, money to develop, and that we've all agreed on. That's really all I have.
Am I allowed to comment?
Huh?
Can I make a comment?
Yes.
Because I do have our strategic plan. That's what I live by. That's what we do. And we only have 2 key strategies on that agreed upon, approved strategic plan. And one is frequent destination, and the other is downtown ecosystem, right? So the frequent destination is all about driving tourism and visitor attraction. So just keeping that in mind.
Yep, and keeping in mind that the TIF plan requires that how we do that is through roads, facade improvement, wayfinding, zoning update, and enforcement. Are events important? I think that they are. Is that the main thing that we're gonna spend our money on? I don't believe that that is based on the law.
We only have $10,000 of our entire budget
I-
allocated for that.
I get that. I can appreciate that. But to say that we don't care about seniors and we don't care about the downtown because we don't want to have specific events or support specific events because we want to spend our money here is, I don't think, appropriate.
Okay. So I have a couple comments as well. First, Sharon, I apologize. I should not have responded to you when you were at the podium, so I do apologize for that. And I do want to thank, it's nice to see people here. I specifically want to thank Trustee Parker and Trustee Rosso for coming. It's nice to see the board here supporting the DDA, and you always see me at your meetings, so thank you for coming to this one. It does mean a lot to me, and I know to the board. I do want to speak on the comment that was made about me at public comment regarding the Historical Society, and I know that you kind of asked the question, and I did respond to it. I am very comfortable with voting for the funds for the Historical Society, as it is completely in line with our policy and with our bylaws. I can't help that a lot of people know my last name. We've lived in Romeo for 40 years. If I could go by the last name Smith, I would and make it easy on everybody. But just because my name is attached to an event, there is zero, and I want to be very clear on this, zero transaction that benefits me, my family, or the Historical Society. Additionally, the Historical Society is within the DDA district, and this was a full conversation. If you want to refer back to, I believe, the September 2024 meeting, this was a discussion that was had as if the DDA could give money to the Historical Society, and it was noted that because they do own property in the district, it was allowed. So I just want to clear the air on that. I am not an event promoter that is putting on an event and is making any money. I am a volunteer of the Historical Society, as I am a volunteer of this board, as I am a volunteer of Starkweather, as I am a volunteer at my church. So I just want to be very, very clear on that. And I think to present anything differently is wrong, dare I say slanderous, and I don't appreciate that. To just kind of quickly, and Danielle mentioned some of my comments here, I think that it's very important that this board and the public is knowledgeable on what the DDA is and why it's here. The strategic plan, which I brought, I'm not going to bore anybody by reading it to them, but I did note right here the TIF projects. And our TIF plan priorities are roads and streetscape, facade improvement, wayfinding, zoning update and enforcement, with deadlines of 2025 to 2028. And again, just to kind of reiterate, this is a plan that this board put time, money and energy into creating. And I feel that recently it's kind of been pushed aside for an instant gratification. I am not against the events. I think the Witches and Warlocks was a great event, and I congratulate those that put it on. That doesn't mean that I think that DDA tax dollars should be going towards it. And I think that to make comments or to, paint a picture of somebody as not caring about the downtown or not caring about the village because they don't agree with where a spending is going to go is just wrong. There has to be an education on what the DDA is. There has to be an education on where the money is supposed to go. As far as with the senior dinner, this board almost unanimously volunteered their time to be a part of it. You cannot be charitable with other people's money. And for us to take tax dollars and use it as a charitable contribution, as wonderful of an event as it is just not right to do. You just can't do it. So the comments of shame on you is really insulting and just shows a lack of knowledge of what actually the DDA is and what we're supposed to do. So I strongly encourage this board, as well as the public, to familiarize themselves with the DDA, with the laws of the DDA, with our strategic plan. I did print one of these quick snapshots for the board. Oops, sorry. This is right on our website. And I'll just quickly go through it. It's not the entire plan or program, just some bullet points. But according to the Act, the purpose of the DDA includes correcting and preventing deterioration in the business district, encouraging historic preservation, authorizing the creation and implementation of a development plan in the district, promoting economic growth in the district, creating a downtown development authority board. DDAs may raise revenue for physical improvements through several methods, including tax incremental financing, bonds, tax levies, grants. Primary goal of the Romeo Downtown Development Authority is to promote and preserve economic health and stability in our wonderful downtown. But that does come with some legal requirements, and I just encourage this board to remember that, and I encourage the public to be respectful of that as well. Just because there's money in the bank doesn't mean you get to spend it how you want. Okay, that's it.
Okay, so talking about the His Table dinner, again, my business is in the DDA. I am preparing the food in the DDA and taking it across the street to feed residents that live in the DDA. So
But you didn't even make a motion for it.
I am in the DDA.
Yeah,
You
but
know.
you didn't make a motion for your own request.
Well, I wanted you to know where the food was going.
I'm saying, but when it came up, you didn't make a motion to either.
WWJR, Karen?
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. They did mention it on the radio regarding the witches and warlocks.
Yes,
They,
yes.
a few times.
No, I know, and then
So-
afterwards, I know it was advertised on the news and
Yeah.
that kind of thing too. I was
Yeah.
just, like I said, I don't have
It's hard to reach
an
everybody,
example.
but yeah.
No, absolutely,
Yeah.
but it was like the number
I
one
know.
comment made. But I feel we did an excellent job trying to
heck yeah.
promote it, but then you still hear a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
that's the only reason I brought it up.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Yeah.
But I did want to commend Kathy for, oh my God, it was a great day. I'm going to tell you, we were busy from 6 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. that day. I mean, there was not an open seat in the restaurant. So thank you. I slept for days after, and then Kay, we are so blessed to have you. You are an amazing person, and you know your job. And I personally want to say thank you. We appreciate you. And then as far as spending the tax dollars, I agree with you. That's not our money to spend. And that was my biggest response when 3 years ago, I voted no to give someone $75,000. That was not our money to do that with. And we did. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Megan?
Just thank the board for all their time and dedication. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, well, I just have a few things I'd like to say. And as you said, you're right, this isn't our money to spend, and it should be spent well. And that's why we're all here. And we're not always going to agree on certain things, but we obviously have to go by the laws and the rules and regulations with that. Being that I'm recently chair of the DDA, I want to take just a few minutes of some of the concerns and questions that have come up regarding the direction of the DDA since I stepped into this role in August. From the beginning, my focus has been on improving communication, collaboration, and transparency, not only among the board, but also with our downtown businesses and the community that we serve. I understand that change can sometimes bring uncertainty, but I want to ensure everyone that every decision and action taken under my leadership has been made with the best interest of the DDA and the Village of Romeo in mind. In August and September, our regular meetings were unable to reach a quorum, which meant we couldn't conduct official business. To keep the DDA moving forward, a special meeting was called in August in full accordance with our bylaws so that essential business could take place. A visionary committee was formed in May of this year. The goal of this committee is simple: to bring together downtown businesses and building owners to collaborate on events, share ideas, and strengthen communication. This committee is still in its early stages and is focused on listening to what our business community truly needs and wants. There has been some confusion about whether the visionary committee is officially a DDA committee. That clarification is still being worked through. However, whether it operates under the DDA or as a partner organization, its goals align fully with our mission. Our DDA director's responsibilities include coordinating both micro and major event planning, so the work being done through this committee falls within the director's authorized duties and within the authority of the DDA itself. I would like to address the questions that have come up regarding DDA funds used for events. All expenditures have been made within the DDA director's authorized spending limits for approved purposes. To adjust a few examples, for the Cruise and Main event, the funds had been allocated, were returned to the DDA since the entertainment had to cancel due to the weather. It rained every Wednesday in the summer. For the Witches and Warlocks event, hosted by my business, MJC Marketplace, I had requested funds that were approved by the board, including my own vote. The funds were intended to support the event itself, not my personal business. After giving it much thought after the meeting, thank you, I decided not to accept those funds and personally paid for the event expenses myself. The very next day, I called Kay, our DDA director, to inform her of that decision. At our October meeting, I also proposed forming the Bylaws and Policy Committee, which I'm very excited about getting that going together. The purpose of this group is to review and update our bylaws and to create clear written policies and procedures for how we operate. By establishing clear policies and procedures, we can clarify roles, define spending authority, and strengthen consistency and trust moving forward. If anyone has felt deceived or misled, I want to be very clear. That has never been my intent. Every action taken over the past 2 months has been open, transparent, and aimed at serving the best interests of the DDA and our community. Meetings related to events have been open to anyone wishing to attend. I truly value the time, effort, and the perspective of each of you brings to this board. Thank you. I look forward to continuing to work together with all the board members, with our village trustees, and with our downtown businesses as we strengthen the heart of Romeo. Together, we can continue to build a strong, vibrant, and welcoming downtown for everyone. I want to thank you all for coming this evening, and have a safe trip home. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.